Why is it that every single time there's an Asian lead in a show or in a movie, the love interest is always white? Specifically, a white man. Countless times we'll have an Asian lead in a story, and anytime there's a love interest involved, 90% of the time that love interest is white. And it makes me beg the question, why is that? I might be ruffling some feathers when I say this, but let's talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty. I know this is everybody's favorite show, but something about the show that always sort of rubbed me the wrong way is watching Belly lose her mind over these two men who are both white. I had to say it. And that's just because a show like The Summer I Turned Pretty, or even To All the Boys I've Loved Before, part of the excitement when these two shows came out was that the lead character is an Asian woman. And that was something that was worth celebrating because we don't see that often. We don't often get a show, a romance, with an Asian woman as a lead character. So it was very exciting, especially for young women to be able to experience a rom-com with someone that looks like them or someone who looks close to them. But in both of these shows, the lead character is always interested in a white man. It sets this precedent that in order for you to have this romantic, this high stakes, drama filled and full of adventure kind of love story, the partner needs to be white. And we've also seen that in other movies where the lead character is having a kind of struggle with their cultural identity and who they are as a person, right? Those two worlds are sort of combining, but in the end, they always have a love interest who's white. And it makes me beg the question, why is that? Because it's no longer just a coincidence, it's a pattern. And it makes me think that in order for people of color to feel a sense of freedom or to truly enjoy being in love, your partner has to be white. And of course, when it comes to romance movies, you can't ignore the fact that the majority of the demographic are women, and so naturally the lead characters are always women. But when we constantly see young Asian women always co-starring with a white male lead who is their love interest, it starts to get people thinking in their day-to-day lives that in order to have a fulfilling and a passionate love life, their partner has to be white. And it also completely dismisses the need to represent Asian men in the media as well. For decades, we have seen Asian men perpetuated on the media as sexually undesirable, socially awkward, nerdy, dorky, and just overall unattractive and undesirable. And of course, this is a harmful representation for young Asian men who are watching this thinking that that's how they will always be perceived in society. But by extension, it also is harmful to young Asian women because then we start to think that we can't date or be with men of our own race because they're not going to be able to fit the standard of what an ideal man looks like.
And don't get me wrong, I get it. Love is love. Love comes in all different shapes and forms and sizes. Like, I don't want to hear it about that because we all know that's true and that's valid and that's cool.
But what I'm pointing out here is the constant pattern. Why can't we see Asian women and Asian men together in a series and also root for them? Is it hard for writers in Hollywood to envision that? And how is that shaping our minds? How are